As you've probably guessed, in this video, I'm going to provide you with a brief introduction to account writing. Like a report, account writing is also something that students are extremely intimidated by. This is primarily because they don't understand what the minor differences are between a report and an account. Though the differences may be very hard to notice, how you approach the question, the tone and register of your language, the way you structure your paragraphs is entirely different from a report. But there are, of course, some similarities, and I'm going to clear your confusion in this video. Usually, the structure of a question, of an account or a report are more or less the same. But what you're supposed to do and supposed to remember is that in an account, you're merely being asked to recollect something that you've witnessed. Let's say the question is, write an account to a police officer recalling an incident or an accident that you witnessed. And oftentimes the question also is that write a report to the principal about an argument you witnessed between two students. Now that is precisely what you are required to do. And that is precisely what the definition of an account is. Something you saw unfold behind your eyes, you are recalling it. So an account is essentially a technique of reporting or describing an event or series of events. And what you are required to do in the process of writing an account is you're preserving the facts as you know them, and you are presenting the knowledge that you possess as you possess it. So you have to refrain from getting creative, using ostentatious language, or trying to be very flowery with your imagination in an account. It has to be very matter-of-factly. It has to be very to the point. And that brings me to my next point, which is you have to bear in mind what your tone and register come off as on paper. So you have to be respectful and, like I've mentioned before, very to the point in the way you provide that information. One another important element that you need to remember is that in an account, you have to preserve the facts and present them in a chronological order, meaning as and when they happened. Once you've ensured that you remember all of these things and you've executed them on paper, you will very easily be able to identify yourself what the basic differences are between a report and an account. But now, just for discussion's sake, why don't you point out the basic 3 things that you think are different between an account and a report under the discussion box?